Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. It's Manchester City against Newcastle. It's the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final and the winner will play Arsenal at Wembley next month. So how are we doing? Hopefully we're going to get a better game than last night. Anton Deck in the mud, says Weed. Yeah, obviously we're here for all your questions. We had a great show last night. Some great start bench sells as well. I've got a few for you tonight. We had some good polls. We had some good agony aunt questions as Valentine's Day approaches. But let me just get the team news in for you. You can probably see it on your screen. I've not had a look yet. There's a few players out for both of these teams. Look, it is a 2-goal difference here. So none of this defend for 70 minutes and try and get a late goal that Chelsea did. You've got to go for it. Man City have made changes though. Trafford, Nunez, Kushanoff, Aki, O'Reilly, Gonçalves, Foden, Reinders, Altnouri, Semenyo and Omar Mamouche. He has got the likes of Cherki, Donnarumma, Haaland, Rodri on the bench. Nipan. I'd like to see a bit of Nipan. I'd forgotten they'd signed him. Where do I know him? Norwegian, I think. Another Norwegian. Meant to be very, very good. Anyway, Newcastle, Ramsdale, Byrne, Botman, Tau, Trippier, Hall, Ramsey, Tonali, Voltemada, Willock and Gordon. On the bench, they've got Harvey Barnes, Anthony Elanga, Murphy, and also Wizza. So both teams have got options on the bench if they need them. Both teams would like to win this game, but both teams would like to win their Premier League games at the weekend as well. So, look, players are coming out here. Tonali, rumoured to go to Arsenal yesterday. Didn't happen. On Monday, should I say. Look, I just hope we get a good game. I hope we get a good game. An early Newcastle game, a goal, would make it very interesting, wouldn't it? Man City, look, I think Pep's look at... I nearly did a video today as well about Pep. He feels he's a little bit rattled, isn't he? He is a little bit rattled. He was talking about give me some of the headlines about Pep. He was talking about net spend. Then he was talking about refereeing decisions, basically saying if Delo gets sent off, they would have won, and the goal in the Spurs game, which I think he was probably right about. There we go. Pep says Delit's back. Not as far as I know. Didn't see him in training. Would be great to see. Okay with that. Paul Merson. Paul Pogba has been left out of Monaco's Champions League squad. It's not going well. Have you seen this as well? ITV will show adverts during play in the Six Nations coverage in a landmark moment for television broadcasts of sports in the UK. It's not a landmark moment. It's a shit mark moment, isn't it? It's a shit stain. You don't want adverts during action, do you? You don't want that. I don't want that. How long before it starts happening in football? If United can pull a miracle out of a top hat and win the league, I'll be pleasantly stunned. You keep talking to yourself, Cola Cherry, because it's not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. I'll just get rid of this. I'm so bored of these types of comments, I'll just delete people without giving them any recognition. Right, what's the prediction for the score? Look, I think Man City go through and play the final. I'm starting to get more and more worried about Arsenal winning a treble. Why is nobody talking about Arsenal winning a treble? It's so possible. It's as possible as it was for Liverpool when people were talking about them. They're going to win the league. They could easily win the Carabao Cup. They could be. Imagine if Arsenal, having won next to nothing for 20 years, go and win the quadruple. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? If Arteta had masterminded this amazing squad build to win the quadruple over many years. Yeah. John Virgo, rest in peace. Yes, if you're a snooker fan like me. Pep in his CP jacket. I just don't know with Pep anymore. Ronaldo's 41st birthday tomorrow. Yeah, if it's going to cause an Arsenal bottle, let's start talking about a quad. I don't want them winning a treble. I don't mind them winning the league, but I don't want them winning a treble. There won't. Tell you what, there'll be a lot of empty seats here. I'm surprised that no one said it yet. There will be a lot of empty seats. Sorry, I've messed the start up here, but I'll link it in. I've got a start bench sell for you, actually. It's Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Jude Bellingham. Go. And I'll read some of them out. Foden, Palmer, Bellingham. Let's not lie, bro. We want Newcastle to win. Says Chilling with Robert. Thank you for being this first super chat, Robert, tonight. Appreciate that. I'd love Newcastle to get an early goal. If Man City get an early goal, I may as well turn it off. And here is Mamouche. I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to do it there. I don't understand why Mamouche doesn't get more game time. I think if Mamouche was at Newcastle, he'd be a bloody legend. I just think it's another player that's gone to Man City that... Savio, another one. I really do think he's a good player, but... And that's fine. I'm not slagging Pep off. Like, certain players don't suit certain managers, do they? Like, it's fine. Look at Amorim with Mainu. Doesn't make him a bad player, but... Mamouche, I think, is a good player. I just... surprised. I suppose when you've got Haaland in the team, you can't pick him, really. Look at the empty had, says Kat. Apparently Simon Jordan listens to that football. He was saying Arsenal could win the treble, says Fernand. Well, he's got good taste. Look, I said this a week ago. It won't be long before the mainstream start talking about Arsenal and a treble. We were doing it first. Because I just think it's logical. Why would you not talk about it? It doesn't mean they're going to do it, but we should be talking about it. Hope all is well, Mark. Sorry for repeating it, but my chat on the United Stand show tonight, I said Man United should have given us a rough timeline on De Ligt's injury. Oh, I did expect him back by now. But look, to be honest, United's injury list of Mount and De Ligt and Dorgu, it could be worse. I mean, I look at Newcastle's at the moment. No Bruno G, no Joel Linton. Look at Aston Villa's. Look at Spurs. Why was the game last night on normal, T, and this is on Sky? He says, well, I watched it on Sky last night as well, but you're right, it was on ITV last night. Thanks for the super chat, Daniel. Anyway, you're a legend. And Fernando. I'm absolutely shagged out today, which is a saying for being tired. Well, it used to be in the 90s. If you said you were shagged out, it meant you were tired. I'm really tired. People are like, I've never heard that saying. Surely come on, give us some terms for things that people no longer use anymore. Shagged out means being tired. Gary Neville was shocking on Sky last night. Mate, it was a crap game. Gary Neville can't start doing start, bench, sell or giving out relationship advice, can he, on Sky? At least we can do that. We had a great watch along, but the game was shit. How are Newcastle so poor in the Prem with this squad, says WC Bosch. I just don't think they've mastered the ability to play in two competitions at once. Joe says, my dad calls going out for dinner, going out for some nosh. Oh, you'll never believe what dream I had last night. I was telling my mate this. The only reason I remembered it, like, this is how my mind works, right? Man City on the attack. Let's just wait and see here. This advert, this dream I had last night was crazy, and I wasn't even on like drugs, like paracetamol or anything. I'm not hard drugs. I don't do them. But I mean, like, you know, sometimes you have a fever and you take pills and you have weird dreams, like paracetamol or Lemsip. I was absolutely fine. I was in the green on Whoop. Anyway, nothing happens with the attack. I had a dream last night. What the hell does this mean, right? So, I'm going for a job interview in this really amazing office block, right? And everybody who's going for an interview is sat in this waiting room and I haven't prepared for it. And for some reason, my mate's with me and he's saying, oh, you need to get this job, you know, it'd be a great job, all the perks and that, you get to go to New York, this, that and the other. And I'm like, I haven't prepared for the job. And he was like, he's just trying to give me some notes, right? Anyway, Hazel Irvine walks in. I don't even know if she presents the snooker anymore. She walks in and she says, oh, Goldbridge, I didn't know you were going for the job. And he goes, she already works here. It's a done deal. And she goes, well, I wouldn't say that, but I've got 1 or 2 surprises that are going to get me the job. Anyway, I get called in for my interview. And out the window, a helicopter's driving there. And Hazel Irvine is there with a machine gun, just shooting it in the air like with fireworks. And everyone goes, that's impressive. And then I woke up. And I thought, the fuck is going on? Why is Hazel Irvine in my dream anyway? And why is she in a helicopter ruining my interview, firing a fucking machine gun? It's just mad. I just woke up. You know, most of my dreams are sort of like, I understand what that's all about. I just got no idea what that's all about. And they're all really impressed with her. And I'm like, what's going on? It's mad. Newcastle are stale now. Howe needs new challenge and club needs to go in different directions, says Joe. I've seen the clips of True Geordie going on about it, actually. Get rid of Eddie Howe, get rid of Eddie Howe. Look, it's normally rival fans that tell you your manager's shit. I'm surprised that... Oh, lovely play by Man City. This should be 1-0. Although, it is. It's 1-0. It's Mamouche. And that's probably game, set and match. Dan Burn does get there. But he does one of them rubbish tackles where you tackle it into the player. He gets there and tackles it into the player. So it's 1-0 Man City. Right, get some start bench sells in because this game could be a long one. 3-0 on aggregate. It's going to take something special from Newcastle now. Lovely by Mamouche. He's looked brilliant since he came on. Bit lucky, actually. Dan Burn's got to do better there. He's first to the ball. Yeah, he gets there first and then it hits Mamouche's trailing leg. Does he do it on purpose? No. It's a very lucky goal. Dan Burn tackles it. It hits the shin of Mamouche and goes in. Yeah, 1-0. 1-0. WC Bosch says that dream signifies a conflicted sexuality. I'm not so sure about that. Lay off the Lemsit, Mark. Obviously doesn't suit you. Says, I hadn't had any. Joe Wright with the super chat about Eddie Howe. Yeah, look, I don't really get the Eddie Howe out stuff from Newcastle fans because if you listen to Eddie Howe, he's basically saying they couldn't do anything in January because they're severely restricted as always by financial fair play. So where are you going to go if you sack Eddie Howe? Who are you going to give the job to? I don't really see why Eddie Howe's under pressure. I think it's very obvious to me that when Newcastle aren't in the Champions League, they'll get in the top 5. And when they are in the Champions League, they won't. Because they just haven't got the squad to do it. It's really difficult these days to do both. Oh, come on, square it! This has got to be a goal. Brilliant goalkeeping by Trafford. Shit by Willock. They've got to score there. This game's really good. It's really open. Lovely play by Newcastle. Lovely run by Gordon. Why does he mess that up? Just dink it over him. Dink it over him. Good play by Trafford, but you've got to do better there. Angel says, Mark, start bench sell. Darren Fletcher, Owen Hargreaves, Park Ji-sung. Ooh. I'll start Park Ji-sung. I'll bench Darren Fletcher and I'll sell Owen Hargreaves. Owen Hargreaves was a very good player, but he was never fit. Tonali to City, Arsenal if Newcastle don't get Europe. What about Man United, Tanishq? Open game, this. Thanks for your super chats. Dream equals new crazy responsibility coming your way. This is one and only. Is that what chat GBT says? DL says, who would you put next to Mainu in midfield next year? I'm not writing this down. I've just thought of something else. You know, I actually write with a gold pen now. Just feels good. I like the idea of Elliot Anderson. I think we all do. Oh. You won't believe this, right? Somebody in the chat's just said, I had a dream of spending the night with Susan Boyle once. Do I need help? Well, Donald Triumph, I would have thought you do need help, but I was told by a friend of mine the other week that they're guilty. Everybody's got a guilty pleasure. And theirs was Hyacinth Bouquet. I was like, what? If it said like Carol Vorderman or something like that, I'd roughly get it. But Hyacinth Bouquet, look it up. She's off Keeping Up Appearances. I mean, how anybody could have a guilty pleasure about that is just terrible. My missus thought she was pregnant, but she's constipated, says HBK. It's also the wrong hole. Phase Killer, I've actually blocked you. I'm so bored of this not funny joke. Corner to Man City here. Just make sure I've caught up with all those. Thank you very much. Mrs. Bouquet, that was it, yeah. What's your watch-alongs for the weekend, Mark, says Sam. What was that thing that was going round about Reinders and Stunt Peg at the weekend? Nothing like that. They've not been in a relationship. It was some sort of clip that I couldn't be asked to listen to. And people got loads of interaction, but I don't really know what the context was. Games for the weekend. So Bundesliga on Friday night, of course. It's Frankfurt this week, so there'll be loads of goals. Then Saturday, we're doing the 3 p.m. games, which is Arsenal against Sunderland. I think Chelsea go to Wolves and Villa are playing at Bournemouth. So it'll be an interesting 3 o'clock. And then on Sunday, we've got Man City against Liverpool at Liverpool. Of course, I'll be on United stand for that for the 12:30 games against Spurs. 3 points. It will be 3 points as well because there's no way Spurs are going to play well twice in a row. FFK fan says, if Arsenal win the Carabao Cup, I have a feeling they will get a triple. Will you ever do a tennis watch along? Says Ark. I'd like to do snooker. We'd have about 100 people watching, but... Tomelo says, what are the chances you turn to gay porn? Okay, I won't read any of these rubbish shit ones anymore. Hope you had a good day. Sorry, run out of space. Last super chat. Says Daniel, you too, pal. Hope you're doing well. There is a Super Bowl watch along as well this weekend, Ash. Yes. We need to keep promoting that. If you've never watched the Super Bowl, every year we get newbies. It's an amazing stream. I always have loads of like drinks and American sweets and chocolates. And every year more and more people tune in. It becomes a tradition. We'll be live from like 11:30 on Sunday night until about 3:30 in the morning. I just love it that it's like when it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning and everyone else is at work, getting sleeping, getting ready for work, and we're awake watching the event. Love it. What scoreline would you turn this off at, Mark? To be honest with you, I say turn it off. It's actually quite a good game. It's quite open. Oh, is it a red or is it a yellow for Foden? Book him. Don't let him put his hands on you, ref. Why aren't you booking him? Actually, it wasn't that bad. He got the ball first. You could argue that's not even a foul. Yeah, I don't even think that's a foul, to be fair. Good night, John Virgo. He did commentary on the UK Championships recently and sounded his usual self. Very sad, says Kenneth. Apparently, he was commentating on the Masters 2 weeks ago. So I don't actually know what he's died of, John Virgo. Penalty to save your life. Who's taking it, says Zach. I mean, that would be a pressure penalty, wouldn't it? Imagine if you saw the goalkeeper going the right way as well. You don't want to missing it on purpose, do you? You know, if I say Bruno, he might go, you gave me some shit when I was in the midfield. They can't know they're saving my life. They've got to want to score it. I might go for Ronaldo, actually. Harry Maguire Goat says, I had a dream last night that we sold Delo, bought in Tuchel, and he won us the lot. Thanks for your super chat. Killy says, my guilty pleasure are gingers. That's not a guilty pleasure, though, is it? I mean, look at, like, Isla Fisher and... Oh, here we go. Altnori. Blocked corner. A guilty pleasure would be something that everyone else thinks is dodgy. Like, I don't know, Pat Butcher. Something like that. Who do you fancy in the final? Arsenal. Yeah. When is the Carabao Cup final? I presume it's a weekend that means that they'll have to have a game rearranged. Very open game. Newcastle have played it in the right way. They need to get the next goal. I love Poole. Oh, nearly 2-0 City. Foden. Under pressure here, Newcastle. Semenyo. Oh, cross across the face of the 6-yard box. You thought someone was there to tap it in, but they weren't. Game's over. Have a pint. I don't have a pint on a Wednesday. Very rarely. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to 455,000. So thanks everyone for tuning in. It was weird, though, that I had a dream about Hazel Irvine, who is a snooker commentator. And then I woke up and John Virgo had died, and he's a snooker commentator. Presenter, she is. Did feel a bit weird. Lovely ball by Trippier into Voltemeda. My guilty pleasure is Carol Kirkwood. I don't actually know who that is. Vibera says, not trying to be political, but my guilty pleasure is Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, but I can sort of see that because she was a powerful woman, a bossy woman. And I could imagine kinky people thinking, ooh, I'd love her to tell me what to do. Kirsty Allsop says, Manic, yeah. Nigella Lawson. Yeah, you know, these are the sort of people. Anthea Turner. Helen Mirren. Call me crazy, but give me Cole Palmer for my life on a penalty. Never missed for Chelsea, says WC Bosch. There you go. Another corner for City. Either or, Carol Vorderman or Rachel Riley, says Arca. What, as countdown presenters? I think Vorderman's the original G, isn't she? What's your opinion on Richard Keys leaving BN, says Storm? And Gray. Do you think they're getting rid of them? I never really understood why they used them anyway. If I was BN Sports, like... That's a... You know, they needed replacing a long time ago. They're not really respected. Good shot by Semenyo, just wide from distance. I'll tell you who will give them a job. Nobody. No, I'll tell you who will give Keys and Gray a job. TalkSport. It's got TalkSport all over it. I mean, they brought Genus back, didn't they? So, they'll definitely do it. Mine is the big show from WWE, says Evan Whelan. Nothing wrong with that. Players are trying to score. Football is back, says Mirror. Start, bench, sell, says Dion. Thanks for your super chat. Goal! Save again! Trafford's having a worldie. He is. He saved 2 one-on-ones. Fucking City, isn't it? They've got the world's best goalkeeper, arguably, and then they bring Trafford in, and he's playing really well. Seriously, Newcastle could have scored 2 goals. Will you watch WrestleMania? I probably will. I enjoyed the Royal Rumble. Start, bench, sell. Madri, Biramaretti or Cruz Campo. At the moment, I like all 3 of those, actually. But I will bench... I will sell Madri, even though I like Madri. I will bench Moretti and I will start Cruz Campo. Had lunch and a Guinness in the Hairy Lemon today. Barman said, you're a terrible tipper, says Gerard. He's right. He's actually bloody right. I'm trying to think. I don't think I tip in Ireland. I don't think I ever have. I think he's actually right. Are you meant to tip in Ireland? I don't tip in a bar in Ireland. In America, I'll tip everything. But honestly, I lived in Ireland for 3 years. I never tipped the barman. Yeah. So he is right. I am a terrible tipper. It's not because I'm tight. I mean, I am very generous, but I lived in Ireland for 3 years and I never tipped the barman. So he would be right. I'll put my hands up to that. I am a terrible tipper. I love that pub, though. I might buy it one day. I bloody won't. I won't be able to afford it. It's always packed in there. Christian says, I'm Irish. You don't have to tip here. We hate it. Yeah, also, it's about €8 a pint in Ireland. They should be bloody tipping me. Yeah. I think I remember when I used to go on holiday to like Spain and they'd give you your cash. They'd give you your cash on a plate. And I'd always think, well, that's a massive hint that they want you to tip them. But, yeah. America here, it's always great to watch and learn about English and UK culture, says Lord Farquhar. Well, as I said, when I went to the States, I had my, like, traveller's card. I had no cash. And when I was at Heathrow, I went and got some cash, got a couple of $100. She tried to give it me in 50s. I said, no, I want it in low change denominations. And she was like, I can only give you 100 in low denominations and the other 2 in 50s. Well, it's a bloody good job I did get some low denominations, because by the time I'd hit my hotel room, I'd tipped the bloody bellboy, I'd tipped the bloody woman who does the room. Yeah, in America, you have to tip everybody, basically. 1-0. I'll tell you what, you can tell it's a good game because that 23 minutes has absolutely flown by, whereas last night we'd only had about 2 by now. My guilty pleasure is Felicity Kendall. Ooh, I know who you mean, Pete. I'll tell you who I used to quite like when I was younger. What's her name? Sybil, off Fawlty Towers. I'm not going to tell you how old I was because it wouldn't have been legal, let's put it that way, but... Look, you know when you're like 14, you do have... I mean, when you're a 14-year-old male, you do have crush on women. Like, I used to have a picture of... not Pamela Anderson. What was the other one on Baywatch? Not David Hasselhoff, you cheeky git. No. Bloody hell. No. No, there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't. Oh, yeah. I had a picture of David Hasselhoff. One in his Baywatch trunks and one lying on Knight Rider in his Speedos. No, not bloody David Hasselhoff. God. Erica Eleniak, that was it, yeah. Erica Eleniak, that was the one. Was her name Shawnee or something like that? I mean, not that I remember, but yeah. But I did used to like Sybil from Fawlty Towers. I don't know what that was all about. I was watching all the Fawlty Towers the other day. They were on UK Gold. They're so good. Wendy James from Transition Vamp was my 80s crush, says a reasoned mind. Oh, I know who she was. Yeah, but you can't beat a bit of Debbie Harry. She was very, she was delectable. City on the attack. I'd love Newcastle to get a goal. They nearly did get two, and it would just make it a little bit more interesting. There's loads of names. Cindy Crawford, yeah. Jet from Gladiators. Jet from Gladiators, yes. Oh, yes. Hi, Mark. What's the United fan split now? 10% Manchester, 40% UK, 50% worldwide, says Yusuf. I don't know. You're probably about right, but is that not what... I mean, that would be music to the ears of Sir Jim Radcliffe, wouldn't it? It's the global fan base they want. Lovely play by Hall. You've got to book him for that! He's running through. Disgusting tackle. Lewis Hall doing really well there. I was talking about him on the United stand. I'd love him at United. I mean, we've got no chance, but I really do like him. Good pressure here. Wins the ball. Yeah, yellow card's the right choice. American, thank you very much. Any more dreams about sharks recently, says DBX? No, but I probably will have one now. Do you ever have it when you're going to sleep? 9 times out of 10, I go to sleep and I'm tired and I count the breaths and I'm asleep. Sometimes I go to sleep and I'll just go into this despair. And I know what's going to happen. And I'm saying to myself, don't think about it. Don't think about it. And your brain's going, I'm going to think about it. And you're like, please don't. I just want to go to sleep. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. And you're doing your best to try and avoid it. And then it will be eaten by a shark. And then I'm starting to think, what would that feel like? Just before you go to sleep. Anyway, good free kick position here for Newcastle. Somebody taught me a technique for not thinking about something, actually. It is quite good. Doesn't always work, but Trippier! Straight at the keeper. Thank you very much. Anyway, Hairy Lemon's a lovely pub in Dublin, despite what the barman says. And I didn't tip him, I must admit. Next time I'm in there, I will. Hi, Mark. Can we do a poll? Hilary Swank, hot or not? I'm not doing that. Johans, we can't do stuff like that. Semenyo! Oh, Trippier! Goal. What are Newcastle doing at the back? Mamouche again. Oh, they've literally gifted them 2 goals. They're absolutely shit at the back. I mean, look. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. What's the name of the Newcastle channel that I like? Toon Review. Right, I'm going to have a quick look. They'll be going mad. If that was my team, you'd be going mad. I'm going to have a look. They're actually quite tame. They're actually, I mean, just watch this goal back. What is Trippier doing? It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Defensively, They're a shambles, Newcastle, tonight. An absolute shambles. It's been a good game of football. I mean, I'm actually not going to switch it off because it's been a good game of football, but they're definitely heading out. Both goals easily preventable. I mean, look, if you're tuning in now, both Man City goals were easily stoppable. And Trafford saved 2 one-on-ones. So, Haaland is my guilty pleasure and I'm a United fan, says Rose. Well, at least you're a woman. Which it wouldn't matter if you're a man, actually. I don't know why I said that. But, hi, Mark. What's your new signings? What's your new signings team of the season in the Prem? What's my new signings? I don't know what that means. I can do my team of the season. Who is that player when he scores someone passes away? Aaron Ramsey, one and only. Yeah. Johnny says, in Ireland, you're not expected to tip. This is since it's a tradition for Roy Hodgson and Manuel Ugarte to eat all our lemons. Hi, Mark. If you still had an office job, which 2 days would you choose to work from home? I've always said Tuesday is the worst day and stand by it, says Goldio. I like these sort of questions. So if you had an office job and you have 2 days that you can work from home, what would you do? You've got to be in on Thursday. Thursday's the new Friday. You've got to be in on Thursday because then you can go for a drink. So you've got to take Friday off and go in on Thursday. That's non-negotiable. But I almost agree with you that going in Monday, having Tuesday off and then doing Wednesday, Thursday is better. They're looking at an offside there, but it was obviously onside. Yeah, I do think if you take Monday and Friday working from home, then again, I think on the Sunday you'd wish you'd done the Monday and go, why have I picked the Tuesday? Yeah, maybe go Monday and Friday, yeah. They're on the break again here. This should be a goal. Look at how wide open they are. Semenyu's going to score. Oh, good tackle. Dan Burn, 3-0. Fucking hell. This is... Are we staying? How long are we staying for? I mean, I'm enjoying myself, so I'm not going to go anywhere, but bloody hell, it's a massacre. It's an absolute massacre. This is embarrassing for City. It's embarrassing. Reinders this time. They've got to try and... It's such a horrible position to be in. We've only had 32 minutes. You're 5-0 down on aggregate. You're 3-0 down on the night. You're trying to attack. And they end up in a situation where it's a 3v2. And Dan Burn did quite well, but... Again, Newcastle have assisted on all 3 goals. The Dan Burn tackle falls perfectly into the path of Reinders. Interestingly, Romano's just put it out that Man United are doing contract talks as well. I mentioned that on the 7 o'clock show tonight. Semenyo. No foul. Mark, I miss when you used to do the movie watch-alongs. That must have been a few years back, says Bobby Archer. Also, have you seen the film Banshees of Inisherin? Think you'd enjoy it. I've never seen it, but I have had it recommended to me. There's a shirt pull there. Referee, you need to send some of these City players off, make it more equal. City are a funny team, though, aren't they? I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you'd have looked at the game against Spurs and said, can't wait to play them at Anfield. And then you'd look at them tonight and go, they look good. Yeah, the movie Watchalongs, that was on Twitch when Twitch was working with Amazon Prime, and you could basically you could show any Amazon Prime video on Twitch. Could have been a penalty there for City. I mean, is that not a penalty? Moves the ball away from Tau. It would be Dan Burney. No, it was Willock. Not Wilcox. How much do people in Europe care about the NFL games that are played there? American fans hate they do it. It would be like having a few Premier League matches in the States, says Mango. You get a lot for the Spurs game. They sell it out. I mean, I've never watched any of the games because the teams are shit. Well, that's not fair. We never seem to get the good teams in London. But a lot of people go and watch it. Mr. Poe says Liz Truss or Tracy or Leanne from Coronation Street. I mean, I've always liked Leanne from Coronation Street from when I was like, when she used to go out with Nick Barlow. I've always had a soft spot for Leanne from Coronation Street. I've got to admit it. And Mrs. Goldbridge can't moan because it was years before her. You know, we're talking probably about 16. In fact, we're probably the same age. What's her name in real life? I don't want to date now. No, I'm just saying then. What's her name? Oh, no. In real life, she's older than me. Yeah, I wouldn't be interested now. Just seeing the picture. I haven't watched Coronation Street for years. To be fair, City, they're a good watch this year, says Wilbur. I like watching City this year. I don't like City, but I do like watching City this year. They're a very good team. Okay, now I tell you what, this might be worth watching because it could get Celine Dion. This is getting serious. God, I was in the wrong key there. They could do them 5 or 6. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. It's a demolition job at the moment for Newcastle. They've got to believe. They've got to believe. You got to stand up and fight in a game like this. If I was coach at half time, I'd be saying, right, calm down. Get back to do what you were doing. We had 2 big chances. Forget the final. That's not happening. But we've got 45 minutes of pride here. We don't want to get turned over. Another corner to City. Semenyu's going to be a great signing. Gahey's going to be a great signing. Foden's still going to be a good player for them for many years. I can imagine what True Geordie's saying about this. He'll be bursting a blood vessel, won't he? Eddie Howe. I wouldn't sack it. I like Eddie Howe. I think he's done a great job at Newcastle, and I know Newcastle are the richest club in the world, but what more could Eddie Howe do? It's not like they go out. I mean, they sold Isaac. They can't really attract the best players. They don't really have the funds to build a squad. And he's had them in the Champions League twice and won their first trophy in 50 years. So I think Newcastle fans who want Eddie Howe sacking really don't understand the situation. Mark, on my previous comment, it's because Newcastle have reached the ceiling due to PSR. Likes of Tonali, Bruno will want to win leagues. Yes, they will, Joe, yes. Shows the importance of a squad. Few key Newcastle players out and they look very weak, says Gareth. Haaland is like Timu Shrek, says Chillin. Somebody needs to go and sign Mamouche, you know. Newcastle in crisis, says Andy. Hi, Mark. Do you think Newcastle will come back in the second half like Spurs? City are not good in the second half. Your thoughts, please, says Ryle. I think Newcastle can get back into the game. They won't be going to Wembley. They're not going to get 5 goals back, but they can get back into it. Would you take Howe at United as DL1? Somebody said they would. Was it? I think Roy Keane said it. The trouble Newcastle will have is that they struggle to build on this, but they'll lose this. Anthony Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, probably their fullbacks, Livramento and Lewis Hall. They're going to want to go at some point. Why am I getting a little stupid fly in my room in early February? Shot straight at Ramsdale. Start, bench, sell. Man United, your arms, the misses. I'm not doing that That's shit. I hate that sort of shit. Short-tempered gamer. I'm not doing that. I don't have to, and I'm not. How did this happen to Newcastle, says Rob? Looks like Anthony Gordon. Oh my God. I mean, this is even worse. Well, Harvey Barnes is going to come on. Doesn't look good. What's your prediction for Arsenal versus City in the final? Well, I hope it's a good game. I'd probably want... I don't know what I'd want in that game, but I don't need Arsenal to win that. I want Arsenal to win the league. I don't need them to beat City in the Carabao Cup. Super Bowl predictions. I need to get my ball out. I want the Patriots to win, but the Seahawks probably are the favourites. Yeah, it looks like Anthony Gordon might be coming off here. I've noticed a lot of this recently. The Villas, the Newcastles, the Spurs. There's probably more. The teams that have played Europe and Premier League, they're dropping like flies. It's too much football. And, you know, it sort of ruins the spectacle, doesn't it? Because you hit February, March, April, and most teams are missing 4 players. Where's Ramsdale here? It's got to be worth a shot. Altnori said no because there was an offside. Yeah, they can't rotate enough either, says Pure, exactly. Crystal Palace have had a lot of injuries too. Newcastle could sack Eddie Howe, then Man United bring him in, says Bruce. I don't think Man United would go anywhere near Eddie Howe. Don't know about you. He's a good-looking bloke, isn't he, Erling Haaland? I mean, nobody can deny that. Look. I'm surprised he hasn't had a gig with, like, Armani or something. City and Chelsea won't have a proper break till next summer, says Joe Wright. Well, City didn't get a break last year, did Chelsea and City didn't get a break last summer either. We're quite lucky at United because we haven't played many games, so we haven't really had that many injuries, but you've got to have a big squad. I mean, when you think about it, Arsenal have had a lot of injuries. Saka twice, Saliba twice, Gabriel was out for a while, Odegaard I think has had 2, Gyökeres, Havertz, Calafiore a couple of times. So Arsenal have had a lot of injuries. They've just got a big squad. Start, bench, sell, Jaffa Cakes, Hobnobs, Oreos. Ooh, I tell you what. I had an Oreo ice cream at the weekend. They're bloody good. I think Oreos are underrated. They are very good. Jaffa Cakes can get lost. I used to have them as a kid, but they're wank. I'll probably sell Jaffa Cake, bench Oreo, and start Hobnobs. I think Hobnobs are undefeated. Oh, Jamaican ginger cake with custard is amazing, Ezzy. I've not had it for years. It's probably not great for you. Problem is, if the Premier League had a break, 100% all the clubs would fly around the world playing friendlies for big bucks, says Gareth. Yeah. Yeah. The loser is the fans. The game dilutes, you get more injuries. The winner is the leagues and the clubs. They just want to make money, don't they? There's nothing worse than when you get like Man United against Liverpool and they've got 3 or 4 big players out and so have you. Oh, another great save by Trafford. He's made 3. I mean, I know Newcastle are losing 3-0, but he's actually made 3 really good saves. I think one of them might have been offside here. Botman. Is it Botman who heads it? He's a bit unlucky. A little bit further to the post. That would have been good. Oreo cookies can get out, but the Oreo ice cream sandwich are amazing. They are amazing, Torrin. 4 minutes added on. We're in the 47th minute. Handball! Give it! Give it! Give it! Come on! Ref, just give it. It's 3-0 for God's sake. Yeah, handball, give it. Come on. That's a handball. Penalty. Easy, come on. You should be giving it anyway for entertainment. Just get on with it. Come on. It's bloody obvious. Give him a penalty. What? Shut up. Shut up, you cheating shit. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. He's not giving it. They're losing 5-0 on aggregate, you prick. You absolute dickhead. Who's the knobhead on VAR there? Just give it even if it's not a handball. You twat. What a fucking idiot. It was a blatant handball as well. His hands up like that. That's a disgrace. It's waving at the fucking linesman. Oh, I'm going to run a poll on this. Was it a penalty? There you go. His hands up in the fucking air like that. You don't put. That's not natural hand movement. You don't put your fucking hand in the air like that. I understand if you're running along and it's down by your side, or you fall over and you're putting your hand down, but that's not a fucking. That's not. Ooh, hello. That's. I mean, I've played the game, and you don't put your fucking hand there like that. You never put your hand like that. Philippa Forrester, good shout. Whatever happened to her? I'm going to Google it. If you know, you know. I'll tell you what, I'll give you another one as well. Rest in peace, Karen Keating. Blue Peter. That's another one. What is your favourite year of football after Sir Alex Ferguson, says Bruce? Could be before. Mourinho, Ajax, Europa League, whatever year that was. Does size matter, Mark, says Kate? I don't know. I think you missed my start bench sell, says J33. I'll go back and find it for you. You know what? This is why referees are traffic wardens. There is no personality. The rules are the rules, and they won't change away from it, right? It's 3-0 to Man City. It's 5-0 on aggregate. Right before half-time, you can give a penalty that makes it an interesting game, and you decide not to give it. When if you give it, no one's going to complain, and you don't give it. It's just ridiculous, because it is a handball. Start, bench, sell. Rivaldo, R9, Ronaldinho. R9's at the start. Ronaldinho's on the bench, and Rivaldo's been sold. Erica jumped out of the cake in Under Siege 2, says Kenneth. Yes, I remember that. I didn't know who Debbie Harry was, says Ian O'Connell. I've Googled her. Oh, yeah. Just, if you don't know who Debbie Harry is, watch Heart of Glass on YouTube. And you'll know what I'm on about. Sports Loving MILF says, I discovered you last week. You're hilarious and fun. Thank you very much. The ref got the Gladiators thumbs down from City owners. No penalty. It's called being a Jobsworth. Yeah, that should just give the bloody penalty. I think even Man City fans don't mind it being given a penalty. That's the stupid thing. I mean, if you're a City fan, you genuinely don't care, do you? It's 5-1 on aggregate, and it makes the second half a little bit more interesting. Even City fans are saying, give the penalty. You absolute knobheads. I can't speak. Ridiculous. I can't speak. I tell you what, though, just going back to something I was more interested in. Somebody gave me a start bench sell on Oreo biscuits, Jaffa cakes, or hobnobs. Is there a chocolate bar that defeats a Galaxy Ripple? I ate 6 in a row at Christmas, and I would have ate another 4. How did I have 6? Well, basically, all the kids got 2 selection boxes the same, and they all had Galaxy Ripples in them. So I went round negotiating with a pocket full of money and basically negotiated myself to 6 Galaxy Ripples. And I brought them into this room because it's the only place I can put them where I knew nobody would eat one. I opened up one and it was amazing. And I thought I could probably have another one. And then I thought I could actually have another one. And I got to number 5 and I was like, well, I may as well eat it now because then I won't have one tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know whether you can defeat a Galaxy Ripple. If you've never had one, they are amazing. Thank you very much. Turkish Delight, not had one of them in years. Twix are good. Emma Forbes. I was going to say I've never eaten her, but that would be wrong. We're doing chocolate, aren't we? Oreos are the worst thing ever made, says Abdullah. And anyone says Snickers have no soul, says Neil. I'll tell you a story about Kim Wilde. In her day, Kim Wilde, yes. Boost Bar, thank you very much. Ripples and flakes are amazing. I don't think flakes are anywhere near as good as a ripple. What's your favourite year of football after Sir Alex Ferguson? We've done that from Bruce. We did do that. Do you prefer a flake or a twirl? Actually, I prefer a twirl. A little bit more like a ripple. Yeah. Who do you think is going to win the final? Arsenal or Man City? Well, 63% of you think it should have been a handball. I will tell you when it comes back on my screen. Look, I think Arsenal will be the favourites for the final. I mean, they are the best team at the moment. And it might not be pretty. I think we've got this weird thing with Arsenal at the moment where I totally respect what they're doing and they could easily win the league. However, I don't think it will necessarily be pretty. The Carabao Cup final is on March the 22nd. Oh, no. I don't know when it is, March 2026, isn't it? It's on the 15th of March, the Carabao Cup final. So, about 5-6 weeks away. On that weekend, Arsenal are playing Everton and Man City are playing West Ham. So if you're an Everton fan or a West Ham fan, you're going to have the weekend off. That's bad news. I've got some bad news for you, Everton and West Ham. If you are, if you're out of the FA Cup weekend is the 7th, so you won't be playing. And you won't be playing on the 14th. So if you're Everton and West Ham, you might not have a game for about 2.5 weeks if you get knocked out of the Cup. Because the last Premier League fixtures are Thursday the 5th of March. And if you're not playing on the 14th, the next ones are the 21st. And what's that? That's 2.5 weeks. I'm so glad we're not playing Arsenal or Man City on the 14th. Because they're going to be playing in the Carabao Cup. You've got to look out for those sort of things. It can be problematic. Mark, I just stumbled upon a YouTube comment I made 5 years ago when I was 16 complaining about the United midfield position. What a sad childhood I've had. We're still doing it, aren't we, Kelvin? That's the point. I'm just waiting for this handball here. They're just showing the Reinders goal and then I'll come back. Semenyu's so good, isn't he? Dangerous player with space. No, they're still... What's the betting? Sky don't show the handball. Nah, don't bother showing that. Show more replays of the third goal. Don't show that. We've got to look after crappy referees. No, they've not shown it yet. Shay Gibbons on the telly. Did you hear what he said a few weeks ago? Bloody hell. I tell you what, if I'd said that, I'd be cancelled. I mean, I do like Shay Gibbons, but I've never heard anybody use that term in that context before. He did apologise. Some people wouldn't have got away with it apologising, but I'm glad he did. I actually do like him. Tina O'Brien, Shay Gibbons and Mika. I'm waiting to see if they're going to show the handball. No. Are they? Are you going to do it? No. It's I can't be doing with modern production of football. It's propaganda. It's pure propaganda. The amount of times they don't actually show us the things that we're actually talking about is disgusting. It really is. Right off the season, major changes needed for Newcastle, says Lewis. But would you sack Eddie Howe? That's what I want to know. If you're a Newcastle fan, get your comments in. Thank you, Lewis, for your super chat. Start, bench, sell, CM Punk, Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. Well, I'll sell Seth Rollins. I'll bench Roman Reigns and I'll start CM Punk one. Start, bench, sell, Club Orange, Penguin, Rocky Bar. Penguin starting. Club Orange on the bench. Rocky Bar's gone. Has anyone been... Oh, here we go. Wreck-It Ralph with a £5 super chat says... Has anyone been a better signing than Xhaka this season? I think they'd be struggling without him. I think he's been a brilliant signing. Xhaka. What are we saying for signing of the season? I think Zubimendi has to be in there. I think Zubimendi is an absolute low-key, underrated contender. Hugo Ekitike is a good one. I would have said Mbeumo, but I don't actually think Mbeumo's been as consistent as Ekitike, Xhaka and Zubimendi. But I think Mbeumo has to be a consideration, but I wouldn't honestly put him ahead of those. And I thought, look, Cunha at times, especially in the last few weeks, Cunha's been very good. But I'm talking about from start to finish, Xhaka has been very good for them. Again, Cherky's been good, but has it been every week? Dewberry Hall, has it been every week? I think it's got to be Xhaka or Zubimendi on consistency. But I think Xhaka's probably the shout. I think you got it right, Wreck-It Ralph. I think you are right. My top 3 that I'd go for at the moment for signings of the season would be Xhaka, Zubimendi and Ekitike. I'd put Mbeumo in the top 5. Le Mans has been good for us, but he came in a bit late. So, yeah. Chocolate fudge cake. I don't know what the context is. We're talking about signing of the season and guilty pleasures. And those guilty pleasures, you don't eat it in that way. Prefer or flake a twill. Done that one. Thank you very much. Community Shield curse is real. Look at Palace now, says live. No. Oh, Community Shield curse, yes. Yeah, they reckon it's real, don't they? I think Crystal Palace's problem is that they were just never going to do it. They were never going to have the squad, Crystal Palace, for Europe and the Prem. Bellon Dotelli was mine. Who was your number 1 Premier League bellend? This is Kenneth. I wonder what you're on about then. Lewis Robson says, Howe has reached his limit. Whole new start needed. Thoughts on Dubai chocolate, says Javen. I've not tried it, actually. Is this the one with pistachio? There was a store in New York at, and they had it, but it was bloody expensive, so I didn't buy it. 100% handball, went back on my Sky. Galaxy Ripples are the best, says Becky. Oh, well, they haven't even shown a bloody replay on Sky. It's disgusting. I don't mind them brushing over it, but not showing it is just such an obvious we're protecting the referees here. It's dictatorship. We shouldn't have propaganda and dictatorship in 2026. We do. We do, though, don't we, though? What's this Sky original? Got guns in it. Hazel Irvine's going to pop up in a minute. If you know, you know. From the director of Peaky Blinders, Bridge of Spies. Not made up on that. If you were a vegan, Mark, would you rather eat a baby deer or one round with a polar bear? James, that's ridiculous because I'm not a vegan. So, what did you have for dinner, Mark? Oh, I had. Tell you what I had for dinner. I'm almost tempted not to tell you. Seahawks against the Patriots on Sunday night. We'll be live here. Kickoff will be about 11:30. I don't want to tell people because it's a hidden gem. They have these, you know, gnocchi. You know gnocchi? Have you ever tried gnocchi? I don't even know what it's made of. I think it might be potato. So you can have like spaghetti bolognese, not spaghetti. You can have like a bolognese sauce with gnocchi. It's really nice, right? But they do cauliflower gnocchi, which is absolutely lovely, and it's made out of cauliflower. So I had cauliflower gnocchi with like an aubergine and tomato sauce and a salad. It was lovely. Kinder Bueno, Galaxy, or Mars Delight. I don't remember what a Kinder Burno's like. Or a Mars Delight. Alanga's on. Should we have a cup competitions with SPFL teams, says Bruce. We've got enough bloody competitions, mate. We don't need another. We don't need any more. I love aubergines. I'll tell you what I love. Moussaka. I love it. Did you see Simon Jordan and Deontay Wilder, Mark, says David? I saw something about Deontay Wilder getting angry and walking off. Right, second half's about to start. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Give shout out to my home country, Nepal, bro, says Kun. Vizza's coming on as well, and Murphy. Who do you think's going down this season? I'm thinking Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. I'm still scared for us. West Ham, says Charlie. I mean, look, I think West Ham did play well against Chelsea. And on another day, they might have got a result. The problem you got for West Ham is that you got Burnley on Sunday. Sorry, you got Burnley on Saturday, which is absolutely a must-win. And then you've got United on the Tuesday, which again, you're going to lose. So it's going to be one step forward, one step back again. That's the problem. And Robinson as a guilty pleasure. I reckon a lot of people probably did. Right, second half. There's probably more people watching this than there is watching that game, you know. Look at the immense amount of empty seats. Do you know why I think they struggle to fill that stadium? I don't think they've got enough fans in the locality to fill it week in, week out. And I think they're spoiled. Whizzer, come on. Fucking hell. You know what? Whizzer's in through one-on-one there and he's missed. They literally have had 3 really good chances to score. And you've got to score that. He's miles off. Absolutely fucking miles off that was. Sounds like a good dinner. I've been at Run Club, says Nicholas. 1 Foot Forward and Track Brewery in Ancoats, Manchester. They do pizza. It's very good. Give it a try. Sounds good. Thanks for your super chat, pal. I've not really done any fitness for about 2 weeks now because of my back. It is slowly getting better, but I just don't want to go backwards, you know. I've got a really big problem at the moment. Every time I keep waking up 4 times a night and I'm lying on my back. And I can't lie on my back because it hurts my back. But I keep waking up lying on my back. And I've never been a back sleeper. I've always slept on my side. And I just don't know what it's really annoying me. I'm thinking about sewing a, well, I can't because but like they reckon if you sew a tennis ball into the back of your pajamas, it stops you doing it. Put a pillow under your legs. Well, that won't stop me rolling, will it? Pillow under my legs. It's healthier to sleep on your back. Yeah, but it hurts my back. Gatorade or Powerade? I don't drink either of them, James. I used to drink Lucozade when I was ill, but not now. Sleep on your right side, look at the benefits. What are the benefits? I can't sleep on my stomach, AJ. I can't do that. That's the worst position. Some mothers do have them. Ooh, Betty, says Woodsy. She was in a TV, the Cockfields, older. Sleeping on your left side is better than your right side, sister. It's going off now. It's like, which way do you face in the shower? What do you think is going to happen to Newcastle? I think they're going to be bloody exhausted by the time we get to April. They're probably going to finish 8th or 9th. And next season, they won't be in Europe at all. And they'll probably get back in the top 5 again. There is a big benefit if you're not playing in Europe and your chances of getting into the top 6. But nobody wants that benefit because there's a financial penalty. You could use an acupressure mat, says Kenneth. Will Ben Jacobs be on the United stand tomorrow, says Matthew? Yes, 2 o'clock. Was the 90s the best decade for kits generally, says Alex? I think the 90s was the best decade for most things. Film, music, football, TV. Millwall Holding says, I lie down in the shower and I stand up in the bath. Try a pregnancy pillow, says Touge. I'm not buying a bloody pregnancy pillow on principle. It would be ridiculous. I feel like an idiot. Down the right-hand side, Alanga wins a corner. Didn't realise Screech from Saved by the Bell was dead. 44. It's AI, isn't it? Good cross. Keeper's there. Seen all those AI videos where it's like they take a TV series or a film or something and it's them now and when they were then, and the one from then sits there and then the current one walks in and they go, and it gives their age, and then if they've got angel wings it means they're dead. I don't like AI. I think it's so obviously AI. Ethan, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. I love following this channel last week. Who's your favourite team? Says Sports Loving MILF. Man City shoot wide there. I'm a United fan. Husband is a Tottenham fan. And my son loves AC Milan. Daughter's not into it. United. Watch the United stand if you didn't know I was a United fan. You'll love it. Totally random question. Is 28 Days Later loved over there as much as it is here in the United States? It's a treasure of a British film for me and many others, says Fern. Acupuncture maybe, sees Paul. 28 Days Later, is that the one with Peaky Blinders in it? Cillian Murphy. I mean, it's a good film. I wouldn't say it's like massively loved. No penalty for that. Start, bench, sell. Mark Knopfler, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton. Not really my sort of thing, really, Calvin. I've got to say, I can't even do it. That's a rare start, bench, sell I really can't do. I don't really know enough about all three of them. I mean, I know who they are, but it's just not really my sort of music. Ethan, thanks for your super chat. Dire Straits, isn't it, Mark Knopfler? Eric Clapton's Eric Clapton. Jeff Beck, I've heard of him. They're all. It's all about guitars, isn't it? I tell you what about Oreos. Once, funnily enough, I was sat in a bar in Dublin with my mates, and there was three of us, and we were sat. It was TGI Fridays just off St Stephen's Green, and we were sat at the bar drinking, and they had these little bags of Oreos, like mini Oreos, And you know when you've had a few drinks and you get a bit peckish, it's like the munchies, isn't it? But we were drinking. And we just, I don't know, I think because they had these, they're in this little basket next to, you know, where you've got the straws and the serviettes. So, I don't know, we'd had a few to drink. We started eating them. And the barman could see us doing it. And we must have had about 10 of these bags. And then the manager comes over and says, you've got to pay for them. And we were like, what do you mean? I thought they were bar snacks. It was like as if we'd have Oreos as bar snacks. And I was like, well, why are they on the bar then? You've got to pay for them. You've got to pay for them. And I said, so look, anyway, ended up just saying we were going to leave and go to the Sinners, which is around the corner. But if we have another pitcher of beer, will you let us off? And he did. Actually, that's a really boring story, isn't it? It's probably one of the worst stories I've ever told. I actually thought it was a good story. It's boring. It's really boring. Sorry, we can't wipe it. It's live. Sports Loving MILF says, watch United stand. I can't find it on the playlist tabs. What day do you do it? Also, glory, glory, Man United. I think you're taking the piss now. I think you're like Robert McCormack or something like that. Oh, Whizzer! Penalty! Fucking hell! This bloody ref! How's he not giving a penalty? This ref's on the take. That's 2 penalties for Newcastle now. He's got absolutely no even thought about it. I can't believe he hasn't given that. I really can't believe they didn't get the handball in the first half. He's got absolutely no intention of giving this penalty at all. Oh, and guess what Sky are doing? Showing the fucking replay of the City chance. Show us the fucking penalty. Sky at it as well. What are you doing? Show us the fucking penalty, not the shitty shot. No, he's doing it again. They're showing the shitty shot. Show us the penalty, you prats. Right, here we go. O'Reilly loses it. Whizzer. I mean, what about that is not a penalty? O'Reilly makes the mistake and then pulls him back. How is that not a penalty? I mean, look, Man City are going to the final. Absolutely going to the final. But that's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. I fucking hate crap officiating. And that's 2 times now. It's not O'Reilly. I mean, how? You know what it is, right? In the VAR room, how do you re-watch that? I'll always say the referee might be an idiot and not see it. But in the VAR room, how do you sit and not give a... What's going through their head to go, he's lost control of the ball, Wiz has got it, about to run through on goal, and he's pulled him back. Well, it can't be a foul, can it? I mean, if anything, it's... yeah, it is a foul, isn't it? I mean, you can't even find an explanation for it. Ridiculous. Mark, what does this ref on the take mean? Says Lil. I haven't said it. Bad news during the week. Need camera to bum for IB. Luke, you need to not paraphrase. I thought you were trying to bum a camera. You need a camera up your bum for an IBS test. That is bad news. But look, at least you have an issue that you are looking for. Gary Neville said he dived. Didn't need to dive. He's an idiot if he dived. He didn't need to dive. He was through one-on-one. I'm a 45-year-old retiree mum. Sorry if I'm technology stupid. Thanks to the people who replied, though. I know now. Maybe sports loving MILF is real. United stands bigger than that's football. Oh God, I literally was just talking about that. They definitely do listen, don't they? So, We've got half an hour to go. It's 3-0 here. And we're definitely going to get an Arsenal versus Man City final on the 14th at Wembley. Could do with Arsenal getting a really tough away game in the FA Cup. Who have they got next round? Trouble is, I think they're definitely going to win the league. I think they'll definitely win the league. And they could definitely win the Champions League as well. Sorry, I've just lost my live chat. What games are you doing this weekend? So I'm on United stand at 12:30 for United against Spurs. And then straight after that, I'm coming on here for 3 o'clocks, which is Sunderland, Arsenal, Wolves, Chelsea, and Villa against Bournemouth. All very interesting games. 1 in the title, 2 in the top 5 race, which hopefully if United have beaten Spurs, which I think they will, that could be a really good Saturday. And then Sunday, 4:30, we got the game of the weekend, isn't it? Liverpool against Newcastle, Man City. And then next week, it's midweek Premier League games. What happened with Talk Sport? Have I missed something? Oh, Storm, I think they're talking about Simon Jordan and Deontay Wilder had some sort of thing. I don't know. If you're an Arsenal fan and you can only pick one to win, do you pick the league or the Champions League? Well, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so... but if it was me, I would choose the league over the Premier League at the moment. Over the Champions League at the moment. But I think if you're an Arsenal fan, you've never won the Champions League, so do you choose the Champions League over the Premier League? I don't know. It's a good question for an Arsenal fan. I might ask Robbie that on Prem Predictions. I'm going to ask that. Good question. Don't write it on that. Write it on here. Oh, I've had a fucking awful week on Premier League predictions. Goal back for Newcastle. Justice. Alanger. 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 Haven't seen it yet. They're coming back. The comeback starts here. Well, he starts on the wing. Goes past 1. Goes past 2. I'd say it's a good goal from Alanga, that. Starts on the touchline. Goes past 2 City players. Cuts in. I'd say it's a good goal. It's a good goal, that. I tell you what, if Hazard scored that, people would be buying some tissues. Good goal. Well, Sky says, what a fucking goal. To be honest, that was a good goal. Very good goal. I missed it, but it was good. I missed it live. I've seen the replay now. It was a really good goal. Ginola, Saka, Salah, they score a goal like that. Everyone's going mad. Mark, can you recommend your top 3 films and TV shows, says Bobby? What, for £2? Very cheap information, that. I'm taking the piss. Top 3 films. Well, I sometimes change it, but I would say Godfather, Jaws, and Heat. Top 3 TV shows. Oh, it's tough. Only Fools and Horses I love. And... give me a foul. Super Bowl is on Saturday night late. American History X is a good film. Are you doing a watch all for Brighton Palace, Mark? No. Push all the buttons, I'm not. Start bench sell, Rooney, Ronaldo, Cantona, all in their primes. Yeah, but this is a tough question, Kiru, because whenever I get asked for my all-time Premier League Man United 11, I do change it depending on my mood, because sometimes I'll put Cantona in, sometimes I'll put Rooney in. So it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, look, they offer different things. Rooney's the best young talent I've seen in English young talent. That's gone on to prove it. Cantona was the spark that made United relevant again, and Ronaldo is the best player to play in the Premier League. So it's really tough to start bench sell those. I'm not sitting on the fence or being cowardly. I find it really difficult, and you could ask me that next week, and I'd have a different three. Now this is a proper game, not like yesterday's dross, says Ray. Oh, we've got an Arsenal. Thanks, Ray. Hope you're doing well. Well, if Newcastle get another one, I mean, they're going out, but it'd be nice for them to make a game of the game tonight. And it's true what somebody said at half-time. Man City are a bad team in the second half, aren't they? As an Arsenal fan, I would say the Premier League title, as we're so close and back-to-back second. Champions League will be second for now, says Jarden. Well, thank you very much for that. Keep bench sell. Cruz, Busquets, Pirlo. Cruz, start. Bench, Pirlo, sell, Busquets, Wendell. After Dell Rodney, who is the best Only Fools and Horse character, says C. I always like Denzel, actually, and Trigger. Crowds... Oh, Grandad. I loved Grandad. Crowd scrolling on phones, looking bored at the empty head, says AR. Fernando says start, bench, sell, Giggs, Beckham, Ronaldo. I mean, I'll sell Giggs, but I can't split Beckham and Ronaldo because Beckham and Keane are my two favourite players ever. Goldio says, Scent of a Woman is Pacino's best film, argue with your mum. The way he plays a blind man is remarkable and the speech at the end is something else. And I've never seen it. I've seen Sea of Love with Pacino. I've never watched Scent of a Woman. Coy says the City fans are so loud. Whizzer, back post. Oh, he should have hit that first time, Harvey Barnes. Goal. I think there might be an offside. Yeah, there is. It's a shame. That would have made it a really interesting last 20. He took it well, though, Harvey Barnes, didn't he? Yeah, they're both offside. Would you trade Odegaard for Bruno, says Luck. No, I do like Odegaard, and at times I think that magnetic number 10 that's all about possession is very good, but they're just about to bring Rodri, Cherki and Haaland on, by the way. However, I wouldn't swap Odegaard for Bruno. Oh, God, I'm starting to get tired now. Jack says, what's the best Tarantino film? Well, you can answer in the chat. Heat is not overrated, Goldio. Best Tarantino film. I do like Pulp Fiction. I do like Reservoir Dogs. It's got to be one of those, but I'd say Pulp Fiction. So you follow football too. Who do you like? I'm an Eagles fan. I also love the San Antonio Spurs for basketball. Son loves basketball, so sports loving MILF. Yeah, I don't watch basketball. I watched, what was that? What was it called? Not Drive to Survive. What was that bloody series that was really good about basketball? Oh, God, I've had a brain blank. Not In It to Win It. Not Need for Speed. Not Man in the Arena. Last Dance, yeah, that was very good. If you're a coach, who would you compare yourself to, says Arthur. Well, you can't really compare Goldbridge Ball to anything because it's actually a very original thing. Harvey Barnes, cross it! Cross it! Oh my God. Alanga's missed a sitter. How many chances? I mean, look, Liverpool at the weekend, I'm telling you now, Newcastle have missed 4 really good chances. And if they'd scored them, it'd be 5-5 on aggregate. How do you miss that? Where is Draughty Devil? It's been a while, says Dawn. It's been bloody years, mate. He's doing very well. I spoke to him. Was it after Christmas? I think it was back and forth before Christmas. I think after Christmas as well. Yeah, doing very well by all accounts. Not doing this sort of thing anymore though. Is The Blues Brothers a good film, says Luke? I've never watched it. I can't argue. I can't talk about that. Somebody needs a goal for 300. I need a City goal for 390 quid, says GR. Why do you think he's bringing Haaland and Rodri on? Minutes, put him in the legs. Yeah. Jamie says, if you found yourself between your mother and your father in a certain way with your father behind, would you? Oh yeah, Jamie, you've spent £10 on that. Well, everybody enjoy reading Jamie's comment because I certainly won't be reading it out. Absolute filth. Sounds like a cry for help from Jamie. He's obviously thought it through. I don't even want to finish reading it because it's disgusting. But that's Jamie for you. Would you rather be a squirrel or a pigeon? Definitely a squirrel, Apple. Squirrels always look quite happy in my garden. Running across the garden, playing with their nuts. They always seem to have a partner. I think squirrels... Oh, don't talk to me about squirrels, though. It's one of the worst things I've done, that. Not like that. I mean, like I ran over a squirrel. God, no, definitely not. That would be... Is it even possible? You've got to be offside again, Alanga, here. Good defending. Mark, thank you very much. Yeah, the squirrel. I've told the squirrel story before. It's actually very sad, and it's sad on many levels. Mainly because I killed a squirrel running it over her, but the thing is, I didn't run it over. I think it nearly made it. I think it probably, you know, like the bonnet of the car. I think it was going across the road and it missed the tyres, but it hit the number plate. Just knocked it out. You looked at it and there was nothing wrong with it, but there was. Come on. In fairness, Newcastle should not have lost this game 3-1. I would say a draw from the chances they've had. I've seen your stunt double today. Michael Silvertunnel, says Mark. Is Jamie Wilcox in disguise, says one and only. Thanks for your super chat. How do you stay so humble? You have 2 mega channels, says Parker. Well, I can't describe... You're not allowed to... Apparently, you're not allowed to describe yourself as humble. So I'll let you do it. Sporting Loving MILF says, do you always get weird questions like that? There is people that really do seem to get a kick out of asking strange questions. Would you rather sign N Diddy or P Diddy, says James. Depends what we're doing. Alex says you've got 3 mega channels. I don't really know what the... Happy says, I've just rejoined, and the AI summary is absurd. Does it do an AI summary now as well? God. I don't actually know how many subscribers the Mark Goldbridge channel's got. I need to do a bit of work on it at some point. Sort out the playlists and stuff, because there's a load of Cooking with Goldbridges that aren't on the playlist that I've done. Have you got your American sweets for the Super Bowl? I have, Rebecca, yes. Looking forward to it. Got some crisps as well. Patrick's just got back from work. What's the game been like? Well, Man City were 3-0 up after 30 minutes, so 5-0 on aggregate, the game was over. But it has been a very open game, and I suppose it's a testament to Man City as well that I haven't ever had the urge to just switch it off and end the stream, which I have done in the past. Even though the game's over, it's been... I think because last night was so shit. And no word of a lie, Man City probably could have had another one, and Newcastle should have had at least another 2. So we've had a lot of chances. I am doing the Super Bowl, Keith. Super Bowl watch-along will be on here Sunday night at 11:30. Look forward to that. Start, bench, sell, Oasis, Blur or Pulp. Easy. Sell Pulp, bench Blur, start Oasis. I've got some American sodas. Yes, Wombat. I've gone for sodas that I like. I've got Cherry Dr. Pepper, and there's a Fanta flavour. I can't remember what it is. Seeking, I will find your super chat. We're seeking your super chat. Who would you say is the best goalkeeper to play in the UK, says Kiru? Schmeichel. City. Cleared away. What do you think of the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre, says the Wrestle Rant. Sense of a woman. Seeking, we did that one after Dallin Rodney, who's the best Only Fools and Horses character. We did it. I said I like Denzel and Trigger. Donald Triumph says, I can't get Susan Boyle out of my head. Busby Way likes Cherry Dr. Pepper. It is lovely. Somebody taught me this technique whereby if there's something something gets into your head you don't want to think about, right? And it won't work for everybody. And it doesn't always work for me, but it works about 80% of the time. If there's something in your head you don't like you're thinking about Susan Boyle in a pants, right? It's in your head. So what you need to do is take Susan Boyle in her pants, put her right in the distance, and then behind you. So in your brain, you put it in the distance and then behind you. Sounds like a bollocks, but it does work. Given Pep's last political statements about the US and the Middle East in his last presser, do you think Pep is finally having a meltdown? Well, you know what I think about politics and football. And look, he's talking about innocent children dying, isn't he, to be honest? So I don't think there's a lot of people going to have a problem with it, but I just think football, just keep it to football. Who's everyone's favourite Teletubby, says Zanny? I don't know. They're all knobheads. Have you had a Moscow Mule yet, says Jade? Not yet. Mamouche over the bar. Sorry about the earlier question, says Jamie. I won £2,000 on Boyle Sports on this match, so I had a tenner to spare. Just supporting the channel. Up the Reds. Thanks, Jamie. I mean, look, next time, just try and come up with something that's not going to make everyone turn their stomach. Do you think Man City will beat Liverpool? I don't know. But look. Think about this game. If you're a City fan, oh, happy, well done. 5-1 on aggregate. Made a few changes. But it wouldn't be lost on you that yet again, defensively, you're shipping a load of chances, aren't you? I'm just going to help somebody out here. J.R. Hartley says, do you know where I can get those baseball caps with the peak at the back? Keep seeing people with them, but can't find them in store or online. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm just helping him out. I mean, if you're Eddie Howe and you're the manager of this team, you're obviously going to... Oh, my God. How has that not gone in from Elanga on the back post? At half an hour, you know the game's over, and you're just thinking, can we stop it now and rest our legs? But you've got to keep playing, haven't you? And he lost Anthony Gordon as well for an injury. Elanga does all he can there, but you're just hoping someone... I mean, Wizzer is a bit crap, isn't he? I think at Brentford, I thought... good player, but at Newcastle he just doesn't seem to be at the races, you know? They didn't pay 80 million for Wizard, did they? KV? No. James Day says, Wizzer, more like Misser. No, it was 55, says Jason. Yeah, it wasn't 80. Haaland, good save. Ramsdale. Start, bench, sell. Ronnie O'Sullivan, John Higgins, Judd Trump. Sell Trump. Bench Higgins, start O'Sullivan. Easy work, Jamie. Yeah, you're not catching Haaland there. He's away, and it's a good save. Be interesting to see how long Botman stays fit for. Odo says, any players make it from Pheasant Colts? That's a name I've not heard in a long time. There must be. Pheasant Colts was a decent team in Nottingham. It was Pheasant Colts, and I think they were called Clifton. I think at one time they were called Clifton All Whites because they played in a white kit, but then I think they were called Clifton FC. There must have been some players that played for them. Lawson says he ate 48 cream eggs over one weekend. I don't like Cadbury's cream eggs. I've never liked them. Who's your favourite commentator, Charlie? Me. I don't listen to. Well, I don't listen to commentary, do I? For the last 10 years, I don't listen to football commentary, do I? Because I'm always, if I watch a game, I tend to do it live. So I can't even give you any analysis. I'd probably find it really irritating as well. Prediction for the Spurs game, says Freddie. Comfortable United win, I think. I think Spurs did really well to come back against Man City, but I think at Old Trafford and the injuries they've got, I just don't see it. Start, bench, sell, Premier League versions. Hazard, Salah, Saka. Saka gets sold. Hazard goes on the bench and Salah gets started. Weekend matches are Man United Spurs on the United Stand at 12:30 on Saturday. Then 3 o'clocks we're doing Arsenal, Sunderland, Villa, Bournemouth and Chelsea, Wolves. Villa and Chelsea are both away, by the way. And then Sunday, Liverpool, Man City. Joel says, how many people meet That's Football before United Stand? Good point. Oh, Super Bowl on Sunday night as well. Good point from Jade. Cherky. Haaland. Oh, good shot with his right foot, you know. Good save by Ramsdale. Prediction for Sunday. I don't think Liverpool lose. I'm thinking a score draw. Apart from getting out and transfers, if you could force the United board to make one change to help us get to back glory, what would it be and why, says Arab. If I could force the United board to make one change, we're talking about the owners. Clear the debt. Clear the debt and we'll have a load more money every year. We wouldn't have to pay debt interest, wouldn't have to pay debt repayments. There is a Bundesliga game on Friday. Yes, Ollie, we'll be live for that. Sam says, can we start a petition to ban Gary Neville from commentary? He's not even on the bloody commentary tonight, is he? I am both-footed, yes, TD, yeah. And if I can be both-footed and not actually make it as a pro, every professional footballer should be both-footed. It's just pure laziness. It takes a little bit work. It does take a little bit of work to be both-footed, but every player should be both-footed. It's Pep versus Arsenal's quadruple, says Rub. You do have to learn it when you're young. Hello, yeah. I mean, you look at people like Anthony. I mean, his right foot's just for walking, isn't it? Cherky is going to shoot. That's a foul. Mate, you can't just charge into somebody without the ball. Shout out to Linda Bolus. Newcastle comeback, says not. Well, you know what? They're only 4 goals behind with about 4 minutes to go. It could happen. Wizard has got the pace, but he doesn't get there. Nice of all the City fans to turn up, says CP. Do you prefer good shot straight at the keeper? Do you prefer old Wembley to the new Wembley? The new Wembley, Luke, is very impressive. The old Wembley was a bit run down, nostalgia. Goldbridge can control the ball with both feet, says Kelvin. Paul Boise, Arsenal fan or Trigger Spurs fan, says C. King. I'll do it for you. Some people won't know who this is, but they're Only Fools and Horses characters. L Invest says, Mark, you've helped me through some tough times. I watch your stuff every day and do all the watch-alongs, which makes the game 10 times better. By the way, go to Florida. Well, I'd love to. Thanks, mate. And thanks very much for your support. Yechi says, Mark, I mean no disrespect to City, but footballers love to play in that stadium. You can hold a funeral on the side. You can't buy atmosphere, can you? Main Road. Look, I used to like Main Road, and it's a shame because Main Road had that massive stadium, didn't they? Massive stand. And it's a shame they just didn't renovate Main Road. Have you heard of the MLS team, Austin FC? 28k seats, amazing stadium, but high-priced beverages. Atmosphere is one of the best in America, says USC. Well, I've only heard about it now, so thank you very much. So do they fill it? 28,000 fans for MLS? You get good crowds for MLS. Do you think Wirtz and Ekatike is the best duo in the Premier League this season, says James? No. Cherky and Haaland's better, isn't it? I mean, Wirtz has only just started doing something in 2026. Half the season was in 2025. I mean, I think they can be good in the future, but I think that's a stretch. You taking the piss? Philadelphia Union sell out every game as well, says Nathan. I think Liverpool can beat City on Sunday, Joseph. I just get the feeling it might be a score draw. I told you they don't really be 2 minutes added on. I was right. Would you go on Michael McIntyre's The Wheel, says David? Well, I do like Michael McIntyre, so I probably would do it, but I've never watched the programme, to be honest. Apparently, Tonali's injured as well now. And Yechi says, would the same happen to our new stadium once it's done? More commercial, something like that? Yeah, I think it's dangerous when you leave your natural home. It's a win for Manchester City. Eat Waffles says, I was at the LAFC game in San Jose after they signed Son. They had to move the game to Giant Super Bowl Stadium to fit everyone in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I am going to do a quick match reaction, just to be fair, but much better game than last night, but it was over, of course, very, very quickly with Man City leaping into a 3-0 lead. Newcastle did miss a lot of chances, but I'll be back with you tomorrow with some content. In fact, I'm going to do a match reaction now. Take care. Speak to you all in a bit.